Good morning. I'm talking real low because Mike's asleep still in the other room. But I wanted to introduce y'all to another one of our fuzzies. This is Stanley. Stanley is he'll be 14 in September. We've had him since the spring of 2012. We were living in our townhome, and our neighbor across the street came over one day and said, hey, my next door neighbor brought their baby home from the hospital and they put their cat out. And she said, he's, working in close quarters here. She said he's just super sweet and he's really pitiful. And he keeps trying to run in everybody's houses when we all open our doors. And she said, I'm just real worried about him. I don't think he's going to make it. He's got no survival skills. Where are you going? And she said, will you come get him? And I said, okay. So I went over and got him. And he came out. When he came out from under her car, I was like, this is a little bitty baby. He was a kitten. He was an older kitten, but he was still very much a kitten. I couldn't believe they just tossed him out. And so I took him to the vet, and she said he was healthy, and I got him neutered. She estimated him to be about 6 months old, which puts him being born around September of 2011. So we're both Virgos. And yeah, he has been with us ever since. I had intended to find him a home, as I always do. But we had just lost my cat Humphrey. He was 20 when he passed, and he had only been gone maybe 2 or 3 months. And I was just grieving him really hard because he was my everything. He was everything to me, that cat. And he was my lap cat. He was my constant companion. He was the love of my life. And Stanley came in, and he didn't take Humphrey's place, but he helped heal my heart. He is also a lap cat, as you can see. And he is also my constant companion. And he's just been a joy. He's just got the sweetest temperament. He gets along with all the other dogs, all the other cats. He's never been crossways with any of them. They usually will bicker and fight amongst themselves every once in a while, or, one will be a target. But he gets along with everybody. They all love him. And so yeah, we've just really enjoyed having him as part of our little fuzzy family. He does have some health issues that we're dealing with right now. He's got an autoimmune disease called pemphigus falaceus. It's not curable, but it is treatable. So he has flare-ups of it. And when he has a flare-up, his skin gets real flaky and crusty, and he'll start pulling his fur out. So he takes steroids during the flare-up, and then once the flare-up is over, I stop the steroids, and he'll be good for 2 or 3 months, and then he'll have another flare-up, and we'll do it all again. And that's all we can do for that. But he also has bladder issues, urinary issues for the past few years. He was just in the hospital last month for several days with a soft urinary blockage. It wasn't crystals, but it was a sludge blocking his urethra, and he was not able to urinate. And so he was diagnosed a few years ago with feline idiopathic cystitis, which can be brought about by stress. And we've noticed that when he has these episodes that it's usually right after we've lost a cat or we've brought a cat in or I've moved the furniture around. He's just a sensitive little guy, so we're treating this the best we can, trying to make sure he has good bladder health. And he also has just recently discovered he has a antibiotic resistant bacteria that we did a 7-day round of injectable, really strong antibiotics that should have knocked it out, but it didn't. So right now we're just kind of taking one problem at a time, and we're just trying to make sure, we're hoping that by, building up his bladder health, that it will also help cure the bacteria. But otherwise he may have to go through a more extensive antibiotic treatment where he'll go in every day and get an injectable antibiotic, but he has to have sub-Q fluids at the same time because this other antibiotic will be extremely hard on his kidneys, and he is at the very beginning, very low end stage of kidney disease. So, the one thing is, like, a lot of times with cats, I guess with animals in general, what is used to treat one thing can actually cause or open them up to other things. And I think that's what has happened here. The years of being on and off the steroids. Steroids lower their immune system, and it can leave them open for other infections, which, he gets frequent UTIs. And we just kind of figured that that's what was going on with him. And it's probably the cause of all this bacteria. But, and then these treatments, this last round of antibiotics, and then if we have to do the next round, those are really, really hard on his kidneys. So we could actually be causing kidney damage. We don't know. It's, it's a chance and a risk you take with a lot of these treatments. And, it's just all about making them as comfortable and keeping them as healthy as possible for as long as possible. And that's what I'm going to do. And, we're just kind of getting through it together day by day, making decisions as we have to. But, I will do anything for my fuzzies. Yes, I will. I will do anything for my babies. We will just figure it out. As, we love them. Here's my baby Stanley. But yeah, so this is Stanley. And I just wanted y'all to meet him. I thought this was a good time since, it's real quiet and he's sitting here. Normally, he's trying to lick my face. He's like a dog. He's always got to be licking my face, but here we go. Okay. But as long as he was sitting here being calm and sweet, and which he's always sweet. Well, so much for that. But yeah, he's a good boy. I wanted y'all to meet him. He's got a little bit of bare patch right here because they had to put a catheter in him and they had to give him an epidural and shaved his butt. Shaved his backside, so this is growing in now, finally. But yeah, this is Stanley, and he's my love, and I love him, and I wanted y'all to meet him. I hope y'all have a good Saturday.